Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. It is April the 3rd, 2025. We are just 16 days away from WrestleMania 41. For the first time in 15 years, the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast will not be in attendance for WrestleMania. I can formally announce effective today that I will not be able to attend this year's WrestleFest in fabulous Las Vegas. Not gonna lie to you, it's not the way that I wanted to start this show, but it's how this thing is gonna trek along. First off, I'd like to say thanks WWE for picking Easter weekend. You guys are real champs for that one.
Yeah, it fucks up a lot of things because even in terms of 3CT getting together and watching it, two of the guys are down at the beach because it's family, it's a family weekend.
Yep.
Saturday night, I'm going to be watching WrestleMania by myself. Oh, my wife will be there, but she will be just on her phone. I'm gonna just have to fucking raw dog sad boy WrestleMania Saturday.
So I've managed to take off on the Saturday because it's the one day of the weekend where we're not ridiculously stupid busy at the restaurant. Good Friday, it's a fish restaurant. Good Friday, every fake Catholic is going to show up who thinks that fish isn't meat, and we're going to have a ridiculous night. And then Easter Sunday, same thing.
Wait, so those meat? I would have never have known.
Right. Those 2 days are days that I can't get away from work. Saturday, I was like, fuck y'all. I'm taking that day off. I'm watching night 1 of WrestleMania. I've already warned my boyfriend. You can have me during the day. Depending on what time WrestleMania starts, I want to be home by then.
It's not AEW All In. It's actually starting in the evening.
I told you.
Even with the time difference?
Yeah, it'll start at 4:00 local time. It'll start at 7:00 EST.
Oh, that's right, because we're not there. I'm so used to when we're there and the time difference, it's like, oh, it's 3:00. We have to go to WrestleMania.
Yep.
No, you're right. It'll be at 7:00 my time. I'm not even kidding. I did not think of that. I've been thinking how it's going to start at 5 p.m.
This is not AEW All In.
Yeah, no, it's going to start the same time it started when we were live there last year, Joe.
Or as they're so elegantly calling it now, Y'all In.
Oh, boy.
By the way, before we get into our topics, which we do have 3 full topics for you guys tonight. So, speaking of Y'all In, Tony Khan is so scared of Saturday night's main event that he's like, you know what? Fuck it. We got to move this thing to 2:00.
Basically.
So wait, is there a confirmed Saturday night's main event for?
Yeah.
Where?
It's one in Tampa.
No. The one in Tampa is in May.
July 12th, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And can we talk about too? Not for nothing, I really hope that the WrestleMania ticket gouge was a Vegas thing, but you can't even get into Saturday night's main event in Tampa for less than $100.
I mean, if you think about it, $100
for nosebleeds
is sadly kind of becoming the going rate for a major event. Even a lot of concerts.
Oh no, for sure.
You know what I mean? The ticket rate is just insane until it gets to the day of, and they just need to move tickets.
It's wild though. That's crazy to me.
Event will be held at the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas. So they're in the same. Well, no, because
they're on the opposite side of Texas.
AEW's in Arlington. Yeah, so they're in Texas, but not in the same area of Texas.
That's wild. Hold on. See, I'm getting something different. I'm on Reddit, and it says that it is from the Barclays Center
Really?
in Brooklyn. WrestleMania, then it's Backlash in St. Louis, the Saturday night's main event in Tampa, Money in the Bank at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, Evolution 2, spoiler alert, July 5th, Mohegan Sun, Saturday night's main event XL, July 12th, Brooklyn, New York at the Barclays Center.
Can we talk about how WWE has the chance to do the funniest thing by not having the women main event Evolution, the all women show, so that their streak of not having women main event shows continues?
I
I can't wait for Nikki Bella to win the tag titles on that show.
God, and
By
check
yourself.
James.
With
Just
John
by
Cena.
yourself. Oh, jeez.
Vacant.
Okay, so they haven't formally announced where it's going to be yet. So I think there's just speculation of where that Saturday night main event.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, it'd be the awesome checkmate move if he was just like, you know what, fuck it, we're taking Texas.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
You can move your time up, but you can't leave us.
Just doesn't even care.
No,
Just doesn't even care.
less than one fuck given.
See, the problem is, if WWE were to decide to do that and they legit main evented with like Nikki Bella and John Cena versus Cody and Brandy, just for example, you'd get AEW trying to respond with like Bryan Danielson and Brie Bella versus Willow Nightingale and some young fuck that they just got from the backstage area.
Yeah.
Why you gotta throw Willow Nightingale under the bus like that?
Who else would they put in that match?
Red Velvet?
Does she still work for the company?
Say she's still a thing. I'm not even making a joke now.
I think she's still on the roster. Hold on, let's go.
Red Velvet, Blue Sky, like I think all the color girls got no, that's not what I mean. I mean their names. Like I think all the name colors. Wasn't there a purple girl?
Just stop. You're not making it better. The views in the comments made by Joe do not reflect Mike, Jim, or the Take 3 Wrestling podcast. Just want to remind everybody.
Wasn't there a purple haze?
Just no.
Will you stop?
So
No.
So according to their website, Red Velvet is the current Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion, and Sky Blue is recovering from injury.
Real talk, it actually kind of takes balls to have a television champion in a company that doesn't have television.
I mean, it also has real balls to have a title named after a TV station where the woman's defended it like 4 times in 2.5 years.
The court TV title?
CEO.
Not wrong. Oh, good God.
Yeah, this took a weird turn right off the gate there, bud.
Before we get into the topics of the night, can we do some fantasy roster moves?
Yes, we need to do that since we didn't do anything last week because, by the way, boat raced. You're both just getting absolute boat raced.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm at 148. Joe is at 115, and Jim is sitting at 90.
Good night. Fucking hell.
Jim, you're currently in need of points, so we'll give you the floor.
Okay, let me just look over.
I feel like you should name 5 people who are available right now that would make sense to pick up.
Why is that? So that you can have names that you might want to pick up?
That is correct.
I'll do it after Jim picks because.
Can I remove Masha Slamovich?
Oh, Slimvich. She gone.
And I'm going to pick up Bandito.
Ooh, that's a good pickup. Bandito. All right, so to help out Joe Lopez, where is... Oh, there it is. There's the Dynasty card, just so I can read off some names that might get points. Any member of the Death Riders, Daniel Garcia, Adam Cole, they're wrestling each other for the record. If you think Tony Storm is going to lose the title, Megan Bayne is available as a free agent. Jacob Fatu is wrestling Braun Strowman on tomorrow's episode of SmackDown.
Don't give him any more. I actually did research for this shit this
That's all
week.
I got.
Jacob Fatu's available, huh?
He is.
I listed the names that were valuable pickup options.
Who's on my roster?
Your roster as of right now. Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, Twinkle Toes McFingerbang, Swerve Strickland, Japanese Okada, Joe Hendry, Logan Paul, Alexa Bliss, and Penta.
How the fuck this man beat me? And he's got like 6 people.
Because he's got the guy who's defended the damn TNA title like 48 times on their show since he won it.
Great point. I was gonna say everybody else on his roster hasn't wrestled this year.
He has He has 25 points from him, 12 from Okada, 14 from Omega, and 20 from Jey Uso.
Can I drop Alexa Bliss and pick up Jacob Fatu?
Sure. You know what? I don't know that I should do this, but I feel like I'm going to. He doesn't have the title right now. So I'm fuck. I'm gonna drop Konosuke Takeshita, who has been a very big point scorer for me, but he lost the title to Kenny. Hasn't really been seen since. So I'm going to move on from Takeshita for right now. Fuck. I think he's going to win the TNT title in the match between him and Daniel Garcia. So give me old Adam Cole, baby.
Motherfucker.
Well, I can't tell you who I was back and forth on, but you could probably guess who I was back and forth on.
Was it AEW?
Yeah.
Then I'm not sure. Maybe. I feel like it's going to be one of these two. Let me drop the Powerhouse Hobbs.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Ricochet.
That was not who I was contemplating. Okay. Joseph, is there anyone that you would like to make moves?
No, I'm good.
God, you're just going to keep Logan Paul on your roster for that one match he's going to have, and he's going to fucking lose.
He's going to beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
No shot.
He's going to do it for the gay community.
AJ Styles is not losing.
You can have him.
AJ Styles is not losing his potentially last WrestleMania match to Logan Paul. Spoiler alert.
We'll see.
If he was wrestling an actual wrestler, I would say you have a legitimate argument for him putting someone over. He ain't putting over fucking star-spangled fucking gay guy. Pass.
You know who has a new original reality show on HBO Max? The one to watch?
Fuck him. That's who has the new show. Fuck him.
WWE's not doing business with Max, the one to watch.
Wait, what channel is it on? There's a Logan Paul show.
I think it is on Max, the one to watch.
Yeah, there's a Logan Paul show.
Is.
You know what it's called? Fuck him.
You know what AJ Styles' reality show is not called? Fuck him, because he doesn't like the gay community.
You know what AJ Styles' bank account's called? Cha-ching. So is Logan Paul's. Who gives a shit?
I think they both are winning that one.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Just saying, when it comes to RuPaul's Drag Race, AJ Styles don't want none.
You picking up anybody else, Mike?
I just want to throw my keyboard through the fucking screen right now.
That was me with Mark for the last hour.
I can only imagine. Fuck, you know what?
You can call me Marco.
I'll call you Muto. No, I think I'm gonna hold. I don't. I have too much value in Obafemi and Stephanie Vacor to cut either one of them before Stand and Deliver. Tony Storm's wrestling on this show for the title. Lyra Valkyrie's defending her title on Monday. Shelton's defending his title. I think if I let go Cena or Cody, someone will pick them up before I can get them back. So
probably
we're gonna hold.
Fucking hell. I'm seeing if there's anybody else from AEW that I want to know.
I mean,
I don't.
I can tell you right now, there's a move that I would make with your roster, but I will let you dictate whatever course of action you prefer.
I know I want to drop Raquel.
Okay.
And pick up Ray Phoenix.
Okay. Like that pick.
And I'm going to drop Gulia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pick up Bailey.
Okay.
There's part of me that thinks the Learning Tree might win.
Buddy, I think you're taking too many risks here, bud. I think there's free points for you to have, and you're just...
What am I missing here, bud?
I mean, we said it. I chimed in on it during your episode of 3CT tonight, the Dynasty preview. You got the 6-man tag champions who we don't think are going to drop their titles to Stoop and fucking FTR.
Oh, that's a good point. So
you got three guys that could get you fucking points right there if you really didn't want to take the chance. I understand John Moxley's also a free agent, and if you think he actually has a shot of retaining, you could take him as well. I'm not trying to help you fix your roster. I'm just telling you. If you think the Death Riders have a 0.0% chance of losing to Stoop and the Revival, I mean, that's a solid 2, 4, 6, 9. It's probably at least a solid 10 points between the three of them.
Yeah, so actually kill Ricochet, because I actually don't think he's going to win. That was a shot in the dark. So take off Ricochet and Hangman.
Okay.
And give me Claudio.
Okay.
And give me Pac.
Got it.
Yeah, because I am somewhat unsure about. I'm a little bit unsure about the world title match. So can I take off Sol Ruca and put on the third guy in there, Wheeler Yuts?
So we'll move LA Knight out of your free agent spot.
Yeah.
And we'll put old Wheeler Yuta.
Let's do that. Good call. Yeah. I wasn't really thinking about that.
Because then after this week's show, you'll have them for Wednesday. And then if they're not doing anything come out of Wednesday, you can cut all three of them and pick up 3 more people.
Yeah.
And start the stash for WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's a good point.
All right. Just trying to help me.
Good call. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about like the individual players.
Yeah, I was just like, man, there's like 30 points that are sitting out here that if we really believe that there's no shot that stupid FTR.
Wait, is Adam Copeland not picked up by anybody?
He's been dropped and added 35
Yeah,
times.
he's not on a roster currently.
Oh, damn, I wish I remember the rest of my roster right now.
Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, Twinkle Toes McFingerbang, Swerve Strickland, Okada, Believe in Joe Hendry, fuck Logan Paul, Fatu, Penta.
You know what? Can I drop Logan Paul and pick up Edge?
Sure.
I think they're gonna win those belts.
Oh.
How much AEW have you watched in the last 2 weeks?
None, sir.
All right, good call.
Lock it in.
Good call, bud.
But what the fuck else are they doing with Edge?
oh, it's going to be whenever Christian turns face and leaves Nick Wayne and Mother Wayne, and it's going to be Edge and Christian versus FTR. But more on that later.
I like that. All right, let's do the Shawn Michaels. Let's do the Shawn Michaels topic. Joe?
Okay. Shawn Michaels is constantly referred to as Mr. WrestleMania, so I thought he'd be a first person. I said that right.
Yeah.
To do a Mount Rushmore of WrestleMania matches from, because he's got quite a few that, frankly, he has WrestleMania matches that are considered some of the best matches of all time, period. So I thought this would be a fun list to put together. I don't want us to do it individually. I want us to come with a consensus Mount Rushmore of Shawn Michaels WrestleMania matches. So I will give you guys the floor if one of you guys wants to propose a match first. There are some low-hanging fruit that I think are obvious, and then there are some that I think we will argue about.
Mike, you wanna lead us off?
I mean, if we don't start with WrestleMania 26, career versus streak, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, at least in the conversation. I mean, I think we need to just start listing off some matches that need to be in the conversation.
Was that the first one or second one?
That was the second one.
That's considered by many people to be the greatest wrestling match of all time.
So I actually put on the first one. I think the first one is actually a better match.
I mean, we can put it on the list as well. I mean, we have an ever growing list here.
Yeah. I didn't, just because I had 3 other matches that I didn't want to do a repeater on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't include both of the Undertaker matches. But like, I am totally fine conceding 25, to 26. Like 25 could end up being the 4th match if we can't agree on like a 4th.
All right, we'll throw it on the barbecue. We'll let it simmer with the other one. I mean, his match against Austin at 14 with his broken ass back.
I think that's an easy no thank you, ma'am.
See, I actually really enjoyed that match.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, here's I don't have it on my list because to me, and see if you understand what I mean when I say this. To me, that feels like a Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania match.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Like I think. Well, no. Like both Michaels and Undertaker matches he lost.
Mm-hmm.
And another one I have on my list is one that he didn't win. Actually, 3 of my 4 that I have on my list are matches he did.
Yeah, Mr. WrestleMania.
I don't think he's won very many WrestleMania matches.
Mr. WrestleMania, my ass.
I wonder what his actual
4 and 7 or something.
If we start going by the matches he won, HBK versus Tatanka is making this list.
He is 6 and 11.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
At WrestleMania. Wow.
I know one that he won that I feel like could be in the conversation, but also maybe on the fringe. Flair's last match. The original Flair last match.
No, that's Ric Flair's last match. Ric Flair never wrestled again. I'm
okay with that Mandela effect.
I mean, yeah, that is a good one. I mean, here's the deal, because when it was presented to us, I built my own. So for me, I will always have, if I have the opportunity to put it on a list, the Iron Man match will always be on mine. I understand if you guys don't want to put it on the list.
I mean, I'll add it to the list that we can talk about it. I mean,
honestly, okay, how many matches do you have right now that we've said?
I have 6 matches. I have 5 matches that we said and one that I'm going to say, but
I'm okay with us getting to, what did he have, 17 matches?
Yeah.
I'm okay with us getting to 8, 9, and then cutting from there.
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
guys
okay.
want.
Well, let's be transparent. I'm not putting anything that he did with the Rockers.
No,
Right, like let's go on the like
which
the
is only
Rockers
one
versus-
Mania, I think.
I think it's 2 or 3 actually.
I think it was 2.
It's
So, like,
WrestleMania 7 and maybe 6. Did they
5.
wrestle
So
at
the
6?
Rockers versus Akeem and Big Boss Man, probably not making the list.
No.
Shawn Michaels versus El Matador Tito Santana, probably not making the
Pass.
list.
It was a really good match, though.
I mean, it was. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty versus Sato and Tanaka, probably not making it. That was WrestleMania. That was 6. Yeah, the Rockers versus Haku and the Barbarian. Although Meltzer gave it 3.5 stars, probably not making the list.
The match against Tatanka at 9 probably isn't making the list.
Tonka not making the list. The match against Vince McMahon probably not making the list.
Okay, but Sean Razor, Mania 10.
Oh, that's easily that's on my
That's in there, right? Like that's a top 2 spot.
that's my number 2 match on my personal.
Like I feel like if we're like realistically, if we're putting this together, there's a Shawn Michaels Undertaker match on there. There's Shawn Michaels Razor ladder match on there, and then the other 2 are where you get the questions.
I mean, yeah, like an Undertaker match and the ladder match at WrestleMania 10 were my 1 and 2 with a bullet. The 4th one on my list is Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and from WrestleMania 20.
I love that match. They were just hanging around.
Oh my god. Oh brother. Yikes. Get views and comments by Joe. Yeah, you know the deal.
Can we just say, I don't know how often either of you guys, if ever, have listened to Kill Tony, but the fact that the dude from Kill Tony is doing the roast of WrestleMania, there's going to be just nothing but Chris Benoit jokes. Like that's what it's going. It's going to be Chris Benoit jokes and Vince McMahon shitting on people's heads while Johnny Unitas cheers them on jokes.
John.
No. Jesus
wait, who? Isn't that his name?
Jesus Christ! How did you just shit on the grave of one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time and compare him to John Laurinaitis?
That guy, yes.
What the fuck?
No, he was one of the surfer dudes. Shane Douglas, and Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas, former Indianapolis Baltimore Colt quarterback.
Dropping Johnny Unitas.
Jesus. This is literally a car crash that you can't look away from.
Vince McMahon and Johnny Unitas sitting around the pool with the yellow pad of paper. Oh my god.
No wonder the Baltimore Colts sucked for so long. He was literally writing down storylines, not players to draft. Like, it all makes sense.
Can you just picture it? Fucking Vince McMahon.
This is what AI was invented for, so you can picture it.
Vince McMahon, Brother Love, Johnny Unitas. Fucking booking the Montreal.
Sitting around the pool.
And fucking P.S. Michael Hayes. I got no deal.
So terrible. Oh, it's so bad.
Is the Mania roast, is that airing anywhere, or is that just for an in-house?
So my guess is it's in-house, but then someone's putting it out on a podcast. I don't care if it's WWE or Kill Tony themselves.
It has to.
Like that's the number 1 comedy podcast on every podcast host. They're putting it out, like they're average. I listen to that because I love stand-up comedy, even though like the interviews are good, even if the comedy is not always. So I listen to that every week. they're gonna put that out on a Monday. They're talking about it at the beginning of every show right now.
Yeah, like it's gotta air somewhere at some point.
They actually have a Netflix special next Monday. Their
wow.
usual podcast episode next Monday is a Netflix exclusive.
Oh, cool. Oh my god. I just fucking so I don't have any more matches to nominate.
I have this narrowed down to 8 matches.
Okay.
We've already moved one of them onto the Mount Rushmore, Shawn versus Razor.
Yeah.
So we have 7 matches for 3 spots. We've locked up at least one of them going to the Undertaker. So I have the 2 Undertaker matches, Austin at 14, Flair at 24, the Triple Threat match at 20, the Iron Man match at 12, and then I wrote John Cena from WrestleMania 23 for the title that main evented the show.
That's a good one too.
See, okay. I will counter with 2 potential matches to add and 2 matches to take off that you just named.
Steve Austin on 14 because you don't like that match.
Steve Austin on 14 because I agree with what Jim said before, which is that's an Austin match. If we were doing an Austin Mount Rushmore, which maybe we will, that's on an Austin Mount Rushmore. You know, that's the birth of the era.
I don't think that stands a chance to make an Austin Mount Rushmore from WrestleMania.
Okay. But I don't think it makes Shawn's either.
I think it has a better shot of making Shawn's than it does Austin's, but we can argue that after.
Okay. The other one that I would take off out of the ones that you just listed would be the I forgot the ones you listed. I'm not even gonna lie. Which one was the one you said?
The 2 Taker matches, Austin from 14, Flair's retirement match, the Triple Threat, the Iron Man match, and John Cena from 23.
I would take off John Cena from 23 because the match they had on Raw like a month later was infinitely better. Only reason. That Iron Man match or like an hour-long match that they had on Raw like a few weeks later is legendary. Much more so than the Mania match. I would counter with, I think 2 matches that should be in the conversation are Shawn versus Chris Jericho at Mania 19 and Shawn versus Kurt Angle at, I think it was 21.
21. Both real good matches.
I think it's arguable that both matches are the best Mania matches for each of the opponents.
I can't go that far with either one of them because they were involved in a triple threat match in a WrestleMania that took place in what we're going to have, the Eurocontinental match where it was Jericho, Angle, and Chris Benoit. That triple threat match was probably their best match at a WrestleMania.
That's a good point too.
That's a great match. You're not wrong.
I mean, Angle has a much smaller pool to choose from.
Correct.
Man, Jericho did bring it for fucking Mania matches though too. Okay, man. I mean, this is where the hard part becomes because win, lose, or whatever, like Shawn Michaels matches at WrestleMania were usually pretty fucking good.
What I'll say is I'm okay getting rid of the Cena match, but I'm conceding the Cena match in the fact that we have to get rid of the Kurt Angle match.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
I can live with that.
Angles didn't make my list, so yeah, we can kill those two.
I think we can get one more match onto this list right now. Because I know Jim's already all for it. Mike, how do you feel about the Iron Man match? Because I'm going to be honest.
I have it on the list already.
You put it on as one of the 4?
No. I don't have it.
No, I'm saying, how do you feel about moving that up into one of the 4?
I would rather lock in whichever Undertaker match we're putting on before I lock in.
All right, let's because we have the Razor matches cemented into
that's your number 1 locked in.
Correct.
Mike, you You had the 26 match
Mhm.
as a nominee. I had 25 on mine. Joe, if you're putting one on your personal list, which one of the two are you putting on?
It's been such a long time since I've seen both those matches. Which one was the one with the feud where Michael showed up in like the all white?
All white. He came out on all white at 25, I think, right? Or was that?
I don't remember.
Which one was the one where he showed up in the Elimination Chamber? Was that 26? Or Taker showed up in the Elimination Chamber? One of them showed up in the Elimination Chamber and like cost the other one.
I'm pretty sure that was Shawn because Shawn lost at 25 and was trying to get Undertaker
The
to
rematch.
take the rematch.
Shawn Michaels dressed as like in all white with the fucking scissor lift
Yes.
thingy. That was 25. That was the first one because that was just like heaven versus hell.
Correct.
I think I'm gonna go with 26, but I really have to rewatch both of them.
Yeah,
but I feel like there's more people that talk about 26 as being like the match.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it was the emotion, everything. Let's lock in 26. Like, if we're splitting hairs on two of the best Mania matches of all time.
Shawn snuck into the chamber leading into 26.
Okay.
To try to get Taker to take the match after Taker said no. He cost him the match the next night on Raw. It was career versus streak.
Okay. Yeah, I'm let's lock 26 into the 4.
So now that we've locked that one in, personally, I think the Iron Man match belongs up there. Especially because, like, that's the one, that's the boyhood dream has come true. He didn't win many of these. He won that one. Like, that and let's be honest, like, in that first 15 years of WrestleManias, that's easily, like, top 3 world title matches.
Yeah, I mean, I know why a lot of people, like, don't like it. It is a one fall 62-minute match. I mean, it is
but Bret Hart loses, and that's what's important.
I mean, you bring up a great point for people that don't like Bret Hart. And yeah, I mean, it's always been like a personal favorite match of mine, just because even as a Bret Hart fan, because like the unreal athleticism of anybody to do a 60-minute match, but like to do a one fall extra time match and actually make it compelling is wild. I'm also fine if it doesn't make the final 4. If we want to like lock in a third one elsewhere, but like and then like figure out what the last one's going to be. But so to the point about the Ric Flair one, I get that Michaels probably carried that match, but to me that match is all about Ric Flair. Like, to me, like, and I understand, like, Shawn Michaels fired the death blow to Ric Flair's career, and I love you, like that is Shawn Michaels, but like that match is about Ric Flair and like the closing the book on him as like a real active wrestler. So to me, that one, similarly to Austin at 14, doesn't feel like a Shawn Michaels match.
I buy that argument.
I mean, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I think the match that needs to be added is Benoit, Triple H, and him from 20.
That main event,
it's a great match.
So good.
It's the only time Shawn and Triple H interacted at WrestleMania.
There's that, and I mean, like, again, I understand, the complexities of the guy who won, but like, holy crap. And like, let's also talk about the fucking gusher that Shawn Michaels hit in that match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a point like towards the end of it, like I remember we were watching, I'm like, did Shawn Michaels die?
Did he just pass out?
Like, is he dead?
Somebody shake him.
But man, like if you ever watch back 20, like it's like it's must watch territory from that card.
I think I'm okay with putting that on the top 4. It wouldn't have made my personal top 4, but I see the argument.
I feel like Triple H is that's kind of the pocket where I think he was at his best from like
100%.
WrestleMania like 18 through probably 21. I think was where Triple H had really, that was his peak.
I'd say 17 to 21,
that's
but
fair.
yeah.
And then like Michaels, like I mean, he was doing tremendous work in that pocket there because he was still active big time. And Benoit, I mean, like that really was like the pinnacle for him. Obviously he had spent a lot of time wrestling before then, but like, I mean, he finally got that world title in WWE.
I'm okay with that making the Mount Rushmore.
Lock it in. There's 3.
So the argument now really is just that 4th match, and like, here's the matches that I think are the legit contenders for this 4th match.
All right. So Mike, what matches do we have as like the contenders?
The 5 matches that we have left: Taker from 25,
Yeah,
Austin from 14, Flair from 24, Brett from 12, and Jericho from 19.
I think realistically we're really arguing over Brett from 12 and the other Undertaker match. Because I think the Austin match, I agree with Jim. I think it's an Austin match. I think the Flair match, I think holds more water for me, but I will agree is more the Flair match. And then I love the Jericho match, but it's a great wrestling match. But in terms of importance,
right,
it's not there. Like, that match could have just never existed, and it wouldn't, like, no storyline in history changes that's like that important.
To me, that one, like the build to it almost, not that the match wasn't good, but like the build to it almost seems more consequential than the match.
And truthfully, like, Jericho and Shawn had better matches later. Like, they had that whole feud where he like hit his wife by accident, and then they had like a ladder match for the title. Like, that's all much later in the year. I don't even think it's the same year. I think it's like a year later. Those matches, like, if you're talking about Shawn Michaels feuds maybe or something, I think you get a conversation with that. The WrestleMania match is great, but I don't think it beats out the Brett match or the other Taker match.
I don't, from a personal perspective, I can't sit here and go, well, they had better matches, therefore it means it doesn't exist, because they only had 1 match at WrestleMania. Like, in Undertaker, they had 2 matches. So it's like, I'm taking it for like the build to WrestleMania and then the match. I'm not worrying about what happens after, at least from a personal perspective. Because at this point, like, if we're talking about Shawn Michaels feuds leading into WrestleMania matches, then I think it's a whole other conversation that has to happen.
So wait, would you put the Jericho match above the Brett match and the other Undertaker match?
I would say I think we should have a conversation. I think it should be in the conversation. It's like, I think the Flair match should be in the conversation, because whether it's Ric Flair's swan song or not, you got to remember the guy who we're picking to have his greatest WrestleMania matches carried 7,335-year-old Ric Flair for approximately 21 and a half minutes in his quote final wrestling match, even though he wrestled 88 matches after.
No, it's
pretty.
Truthfully too, how many wrestling matches are quotable, like movies? Because that match is quotable. I'm sorry, I love you is a quote that people still say to this day, and that came out of Shawn Michaels' mouth. Like, that's a Shawn Michaels WrestleMania moment.
So, I mean, sounding it out, I would actually feel I would lean more towards the Flair match than the Austin match.
I took the Austin match off the board altogether.
I think that makes sense.
So you know what? I don't hate the Flair match being in play.
Okay, so wait, we're down to 4, right?
Let's take the Undertaker match off the board.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, are we gonna be like, hey, you know what? We've already represented Undertaker here. We don't need 2 Undertaker matches.
Let's get Taker off. Austin's off. So we're down.
We're down to Jericho, Hart, Flair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when I'm looking at 3 of them, again, all very good matches, all very different matches, different eras of his career, impactful in different ways. I would lean more towards Flair or Brett. One, just because of the impact and the ability to carry Ric Flair, and the quotable, all those things that you guys just brought me back on board with, or the Brett one being because, on top of just the impressiveness of a 60-minute match, it's his first world title. It's one of only 6 wins at WrestleMania, and like it really, like if Vince makes the choice to have Brett win there, okay, that's 2 Royal Rumble wins that result in 2 world title losses. Like, are we like, what do we, like, to me, like in the day and age of like internet wrestling world, like we're talking about like, oh, Shawn Michaels is like remember the talk about like Bray Wyatt was like, well, he just can't win the big one.
Yeah.
Like we're having that discussion with Shawn Michaels if he doesn't win at 12. So for me, I'm taking Jericho off the board. I am fine with either the Flair match or the Brett match. For me,
I mean, I'm on the same page as you, because if I'm being honest, my top 4 probably would have been the 2 that we have, and then the 2 that we're discussing, and not the triple threat from 20. But I'm down for the triple threat from 20. I agree with you guys. You guys sold me on that. But I'd have Brett there and I'd have Flair there, because I think both those matches are monumental. If I had to choose one of the 2, I think I choose 12. Personally. But I'm also not mad at either or. So, Mike, if you have a better argument for Flair over Brett.
I mean, the Iron Man match really isn't that high on my list. I'm not going to lie to you. It probably was like in the 7 or 8 spot on my list.
Where was Flair?
5.
What was your 4? Because obviously a bunch hasn't made it, or maybe 3 have.
No, I have those 3, and then I think I double dipped on the Undertaker.
Okay. Which is valid.
And if I don't double dip on the Undertaker, I probably put the Cena title match from 23 in there, because that was a really good match. It was a really good build to that match. I remember that build being really good. So I teetered across like the 6 matches that I really had, and then it was like Brett. The Brett match is probably 7, but I feel like the distance between 6 and 7 is probably larger for me than it is for other people. And it's nothing against him or Brett. I think the match what's the word I'm thinking of? Strategically, aesthetically, it is a good match. I think statistically, it's a good match. I think it's built really well. It was the first real, let's do a 60-minute draw like they did in the NWAs that WWE really tried.
A very old school match.
It really was. And, kudos to the 2 of them, because both of them did a really great job in the match.
They even worked it in an old school way, like compared to a lot of WWE TV at that time.
It's weird that like 7 years later they wanted to kill each other, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they wanted to kill each other at that point too, just less publicly.
I think they were probably in a good.
Really, at that point, if you read in like any of their books or whatever, They were actually in a pretty good place, like at that point.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
that's
I
so
think
crazy.
I think it's more coming out of this.
Yeah, it was. I think the decision not only to lose, but lose the way they did, and I think the post match, at least according to Brett, like there was a moment where Shawn Michaels reportedly like told him get the fuck out of my ring.
Yeah.
Like so he just kind of rubbed him wrong, from that point, and then Michaels kind of went down his own personal journey in one way after that point, and just 2 years later he's done.
Don't do meth.
Like that's the crazy part.
Don't get into a fight with every Marine in a bar.
Right, like 2 years.
Don't do math.
Wasn't that the beginning of Con Air?
Yeah.
Was Con Air just about Shawn Michaels getting beat up?
It might have been, but like really 2 years after this was the end of Michael's career to that point, like, which is insane. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the Iron Man match holds a place for me. I am wholly fine with the Ric Flair match being on this list.
I'm okay with if you guys want to accept Flair just so we could finalize this. I'm okay with that.
All right, so our wings. Our Shawn Michael WrestleMania Mount Rushmore of matches. The ladder match at 10 against Razor. WrestleMania 26 Streak versus Career against The Undertaker. The triple threat match from WrestleMania 20, Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn. And then Ric Flair's last match. The first time. WrestleMania 24.
The one that didn't have Jeff Jarrett.
Ha Nice.
All right, so that is the Shawn Michaels Mount Rushmore.
We might do a couple more of these during WrestleMania season.
I like it. This was a fun little journey.
It would be like kind of a challenging one, but not necessarily in a good way.
Roman Reigns' main events.
I was gonna say Hulk Hogan, but Roman Reigns could also be a fun one.
Yeah.
Number one, WrestleMania play button because Seth cashed in. It's not even for Roman. It's because Seth cashed in. Let's be very transparent.
Well,
be a lot of Roman
Mount Rushmore of Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns main events at WrestleMania. What was it? 34 was the worst.
Jesus, they all sucked.
Well, except for play button, but again,
yeah, because of what happened. Yeah,
what happened with
I
it.
saw an Instagram post, and this is one of those that like I didn't fact check it, so I don't know if it's 100% true. But it's pointed out that this year is the first time since Mania 32 or 31, I think. So the first time in like a decade that there's not a single world title match on WrestleMania involving Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess you'd be right.
Wait, did he have it during pandemic?
Brock did.
I know Strowman beat Goldberg in the other one.
Yeah,
That
Drew beat Brock.
Drew beat Brock.
No, Drew beat Goldberg, didn't he?
No,
Drew beat Brock and then beat Big Show. Like we
Braun-
were all shocked that Brock
Braun
showed
beat
up.
Goldberg.
Braun beat Goldberg. That's what it was.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, that's fucking wild.
First time in a decade.
Yeah.
Jesus. Now I want to fact check this because he beat Goldberg in 33 whenever we watched the worst Undertaker match of the streak against Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Because that was fucking terrible. 35 he definitely defended to start the show against Seth. 36 Brock lost to Drew. 37 was Roman in the triple threat. Yep,
Dang.
it is.
That's wild.
That's freaking nuts, man.
I walk through miles.
Well, no, 35. Oh no, you were just talking title matches, not actual.
Yeah,
not main
title
events.
matches in general.
Because he opened the show against Seth for the title.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. Thank God the reign of terror is over. All hail Cody Rhodes.
He did it.
All it took was a John Cena heel turn,
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes saving America, and CM Punk to get Roman Reigns. Oh, and Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon, the downfall of Vince McMahon, to get Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns out of the world title scene.
Man, what a world.
Adrenaline's in my soul.
Poop is on her head.
All right, so let's move over to WrestleManias 11 through 20. That's the course of action that we're going on this week. 9-match card.
Mm-hmm.
Have to have a tag title match. Have to have a world title match. Have to have the IC title, and then have to have a mid card. And we talked this week. Mid card was US, European, or hardcore, because those were all defended during this run. Starting next, I will send you guys the stipulations for 21 through 30. That will have a women's match that has to happen. We'll probably expand a couple more matches there to make it easier for that transition to occur as well. But I guess we'll start the same way we did last week. We'll give the 4 title matches first, and then we'll do our 5 wild cards as I put them. Jim, I'm going to start with you. Let's hear your tag title match.
Okay. This was the second match. I actually kept track of this time.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second match that I placed on my list. I'm sure you guys will be shocked at which one I put on first.
Nope.
But my tag title match is the TLC from WrestleMania 17, Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys.
I have that on mine as well. That's why I wanted to start here.
So I have a different match than you do.
You have the 16 match.
I have the 16 match because I already have 3 other matches from 17, and I didn't just want to book Mania 17.
Makes sense.
The
That was-
only reason.
Honestly, so what I did is I actually wrote down matches for each one, and then I went through and I started like eliminating them based off of people I wanted to use elsewhere. I actually had 5 tag matches written down. 16 and 17 were 2 of them.
Did you have the Outlaws against Mankind and Terry Funk? That's a good match.
In the dumpster match from
That's
14.
a good fucking match.
I had Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett against D'Lo and Test from WrestleMania 15 because I was like,
that's
wow,
a match that happened.
I'd really like to get Owen on this card. And then I had Owen and Yoko versus the Smoking Guns from WrestleMania 11 because let's be fair, there wasn't a lot of good shit on WrestleMania 11.
No.
So I went back and forth.
I do have a WrestleMania 11 match on my card.
I do too.
Me too.
It was the last match that I picked, but we'll get there.
I have one too. Let's go to the IC title. Jim, you can we'll start with you.
Well, we just said my WrestleMania 11 match. It was the last match that I picked. Razor Ramon versus Double J for the Intercontinental title, WrestleMania 11.
I have that one too.
I have a different IC title match.
Oh shit! Okay,
All
Which
right.
is fun because I also have a match from Mania 11. Apparently, you guys might not have.
All right, Bam Bam and fucking Lawrence Taylor.
Yes. Man, Bam Bam Bigelow. He would have made a great drag queen. Anyway.
Ham Gigolo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, what's your Intercontinental title match, Joe?
So I almost took the Razor Jeff Jarrett match because I was like, I'd love to get these guys on. But I ended up going for 2 other guys that I also would love to get on. And I don't mean that in a gay way. I mean on the card. And there were very few opportunities to get these guys on the card. In fact, one of these guys, I think this was the only opportunity to get him on the card. I took Rob Van Dam versus William Regal for the IC title from, I believe it was 19.
He also had a match against Jericho from 17 for the IC title.
Regal did.
Correct.
RVD, I don't think made any other WrestleMania appearances, or maybe at 18. No, they got the pre-show, I'm pretty sure.
The Jericho one with Regal was really good, but I looked at this RVD one many times.
Mm-hmm.
Many times.
It was on my shoulder.
I settled on
an
mine
IC title match was really hard after I picked some of my other matches.
I settled on this one to get Razor Ramon to get Scott Hall on the card.
I ended up going back and forth because at first I had Road Dogg versus Goldust versus Shamrock versus Val Venus from WrestleMania 15. And then I said, "Ooh, shit, I need somebody somewhere else on the show, so I can't really use that match."
Yeah.
I had the RVD Regal. I had the Jericho Regal. I even had the Rock versus the Sultan written down, even though I knew I was going with where I was going with the Rock, but I put it down in my list of like, there weren't a lot of good IC title matches in this chunk of the show.
Yeah, it's just that they had like the same guys that like would go on to do
Would go and be in main
other
events.
things. Yeah.
Made it difficult.
Yeah. Because even like you eliminate a lot of people when you then look at later matches that are bigger.
100%. Our mid card title.
Should I just lead them off again? Am I leading off?
Yeah. We'll just lead it off with you.
So this one, I picked 6th. And it's because I was wavering of whether I wanted to get this guy on in a mid-card title or a world title. My mid-card title is Triple H versus Owen Hart for the European title at WrestleMania 14.
I consider that match very strongly.
Had it on my list to contemplate. Did not pick it, but I had it on my list.
That was my, if I'm going to get Owen on my card, this is probably the match. Sadly, Owen is not on my card. But like that was the close call.
Mm-hmm.
And I only didn't put it on because I needed Triple H somewhere else.
Joe, your mid-card title match?
When we started talking about doing this, there was one match that I knew was going to make my 11 to 20, 11 to 9, whatever, 11 to 19.
No, 11 to 20.
So we could have included 20 on this list?
Correct.
Shit. Anyway, I definitely just stopped considering things at 19.
You literally asked in the group chat.
It's okay.
8 hours ago.
It's okay. It made it easier. There'll be no representation for WrestleMania 20 from any of my lists. Anyway.
To be fair, I only have one match from that on mine, so.
You look like Geordi from Star Trek. Anyway, he's the Reading Rainbow guy. He was also on Roots. Don't let him know you can read. Anyway. So.
Wow, this just took a really far turn to get to your mid-card title match.
One of my favorite matches of all time, ever, is the triple threat hardcore title match from Mania 17 between Kane, The Big Show, and Raven.
That's my mid-card title match as well.
That is one of those that, like, my brother and I will randomly text each other sometimes and just be like, right here, on the floor. Like, just, that match is amazing for all of the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
All of the reasons. I love that match.
Facts. All right, that is my mid-card title match as well. I'm just really glad they didn't kill the power. Thanks to that golf cart. Appreciate you. All right, our final title match of 11 through 20 is the WWF title match. Jim, lead it off.
This was number 7 for me. And again, I go back to the mid-card title. This is where I was wavering because I heavily thought about doing Triple H versus Chris Jericho in this spot. I know it's in a bad spot on the card because of what it had to follow, but it was a great match. And for Triple H, the comeback, the YouTube video,
it's a beautiful day.
Oh my God, inject that into my veins to this day. But obviously I settled here because I think these two guys also deserved a spot in this pocket. And I lied, Joe. I have 2 matches from WrestleMania 20 on my card.
Damn it, Jim.
This is one of them. Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 20.
That's a good fucking match.
That's my world title match as well.
It's so good.
So good.
So you know what's funny? If I had remembered that 20 was part of this, I might have highly considered putting that as my world title match. But it might have still lost out to the match that I did put on. Because for my money, I still think... Okay, I don't know about still, actually. I'd have to go back and look at some matches in recent years. But for a very long time, I would say this was the best WWE, WWF wrestling match of all time. Rock versus Austin, Mania 17 for the title.
I mean, it is a great one.
It's not Austin's best match in this entire segment of WrestleManias, though.
I know what you're talking about.
Mike, since I took your WWE title match, do you want to take this one off the board?
It's also not Rock's best WrestleMania match either.
True.
Yeah, I have Brett versus Austin WrestleMania 13 as my first wild card.
That this was the first match on my
card. number one with the bullet.
Without question. Didn't matter. This was when you gave me this topic, this was already written into my WrestleMania 11 through 20. Easy. Hell, it's the first WWE match to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
No, it's valid. And the thing is, like, if I didn't want to put Rock Austin as my world title match, then obviously 100% that match would have been on my card too. And again, maybe if I had remembered that 20 was involved, I might have made that decision different. But I've always loved that Rock Austin match, so I think I would have stuck with that. I did feel the need to get Bret Hart on my card, though. And this is where WrestleMania 11 comes in, because I have the I Quit match between Bret Hart and Bob Backlund. Because as a kid, I thought Bob Backlund was like Bret Hart's greatest enemy. Like, that feud for me was everything when I was 11 years old. And the fact that they actually had a WrestleMania match, that was non-title, no less. The fact that that wasn't even for a title is crazy.
It's a good choice. I like that choice.
Thank you.
So like with Brett and Austin at 13. Let's listen to the rest of that card just for a second, okay?
Trash.
Your free for all match was Billy Gunn versus Flash Funk. Your 4-way elimination to become the number one contenders for the tag titles were the Headbangers defeating Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon.
Oh, great!
The Godwins and the New Blackjacks.
You put some respect on the name of Techno Team 2000.
Rocky Maivia defeated the Sultan.
Hey, I almost picked that for my IC title match.
Well, I couldn't.
I couldn't either, but I almost did.
Triple H defeated Hunter Hearst Helmsley defeated Goldust. Owen Hart and the British Bulldog defeated Mankind and Vader.
Oh, Vader time.
Or no, that was a double count out. Never mind. That was a double count out for the tag title. And then you had Ahmed Johnson, the Legion of Doom, defeated the Nation of Domination.
Who gives a shit?
In a Chicago street fight. And then The Undertaker defeated Psycho Sid. Like, we regularly talk about like WrestleMania 9, WrestleMania 11,
WrestleMania 27,
29 as being some bad manias. 13, if not for that match, an all-timer is in the worst manias ever category.
The worst Mount Rushmore.
It's bad. It's real bad. And like we were even saying on 3CT, like you want to talk about like mania main events that weren't title matches, Brett and Austin probably should have been the main event that night.
Yeah, probably should have been. Good luck following that, boys. All right, so our second wild cards.
Speaking of good luck following that, buddy, The Rock versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18.
Yep.
This was my third match on the card. The first three, actually maybe even the fourth one, the first three matches went on very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Brett and Austin, TLC at 17, Rock versus Hogan.
Yeah, we had the same first three matches. Those were the
easy.
Snap put all three of them on the list.
Yeah,
and said,
1, 2, 3.
We'll figure out the rest of it from there.
Yeah, we'll go elsewhere.
I have that as well, obviously. So, Joe, your second wild card match.
So my second match that I wrote down, period. Once I had decided I was putting Rock and Austin in my world title match, I knew Shawn Michaels had to be on this, and I didn't know where else to fit him if I wasn't using Bret Shawn. And I didn't realize 20 was an option. So I ended up putting Shawn versus Jericho at 19.
Okay, yeah, I don't hate that at all.
I
That's a
also have Shawn and Jericho from 19 on my list.
nice. Yeah,
It's a great match.
it's a
It
great
really is a great match. I know we just talked about it anyway, but it's a great match.
Yep. So my third wild card is now out of the way. So Jim, your third wild card.
This is a match that one of my, so I know I had watched 7 live, 9 live, 10 live, didn't watch 11 because even as a child I knew don't watch this.
Dog water.
And then I watched 12, and one of my favorite Mania matches, maybe matches as a whole, as a younger person to watch.
This is going to be the one we all have, isn't it?
The Hollywood
Yes.
Backlot Brawl.
Yep.
Roddy Piper and Goldust. This was 4th on my list. This came right after. Yeah, this came right after Rock and Hogan. Like,
This
this is definitely going on the list.
100%.
Yep. Smack on mine. Yep. 100%.
That's on mine too.
I only have one wild card left. You guys each have 2 because you guys keep naming my matches. So,
you want me to just name another?
Yeah,
one?
keep going. Let's see if we can go a perfect 5 for 5 here.
This is what's really funny. So, besides Edge and Christian, the TLC being my second match, my first, third, fourth, and fifth matches snap pretty easily are wild cards, including this one, WrestleMania 20, the return of like Dead Man, Undertaker. This is kind of that like cowboy hybrid.
Yep.
Like Ryan, I wasn't even really like watching wrestling as much at this point, but like we bought it on pay-per-view at college and just, dude, we fucking geeked out watching the Undertaker come back and beat Kane. Like, it's not a great match, but me, it's more just about the moment and all of that stuff. So yeah, Undertaker Kane from 20.
Joseph, you're next.
I said earlier that I needed Triple H elsewhere, which is why I couldn't put him in the Owen match on. For my money, I think the best match that Undertaker's ever had at a WrestleMania was at 17 against Triple H.
That's real good. You want to know what's even more wild about that? Triple H had like a fucking 103 fever.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he full on had the flu that day and went out and put on that fucking banger.
I don't hate that selection. It's gonna be a little weird. I do not have Hunter Hearst Helmsley on my card at all.
Wow. I don't have Shawn Michaels on mine.
And I guess because you guys have both already released your Taker matches. My final match does involve the Undertaker because, duh, he has to be on the show.
Sure.
The fuck do you mean? Joe says that the best match was 18. I don't care what you say, or 17 against Triple H. Give me 18. Give me the no disqualification match against Ric Flair, where he literally drags him around basically the Astrodome and just beats the ever-loving shit out of him, or the Skydome, and just beats the ever-loving piss out of him. Trash can lids, lash rides off of scaffolds. Why the fuck not? Ric Flair's going out with a bang. Give me the Undertaker versus Ric Flair from WrestleMania 18 in the no disqualification match.
For my money, that was the best match on 18. I actually love that match. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that would have made my list if it wasn't for my love of Triple H Undertaker.
That's fair.
Also, because you forgot that WrestleMania 20 was a thing.
Well, no, that match was from 18.
I'm aware. I'm just giving you shit.
Okay.
My last one. This came 8th. And like at this point, because it was like I had knocked off, those first 5. And then I did get the European title with Triple H and Owen Hart. Decided on that one instead of the title match. Got Eddie and Kurt on there. And I hadn't picked my IC title yet. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like stewing over just random matches. Like, yeah, I could have gotten a Shawn Michaels. I could have done Michaels Jericho and this and that. But like, when I think similarly to the backlot brawl, when I think about WrestleMania moments, to me, I will always talk about, especially in this period of time. And Mike, you may even know where I'm going. WrestleMania 15, the Brawl for All final, when Butterbean absolutely just fucking knocks Bart Gunn's brain into fucking Nowheresville.
Hey, Bart Gunn, have you ever been hit with a frying pan before?
Nope. But
Wham! Now you have.
got a surprise for you, bud.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that was okay. So I went back and forth because the last matches that I added to my show was Jericho versus Shawn, and I went between that, the Brawl for All final, and I almost put Bam Bam versus LT on there just for the looks that I would get from the two of you. So literally, I almost did it just out of spite. So yeah, I that whole Brawl for All thing, like, I want to go back and just watch the Brawl for All matches. I don't even want to watch Raw from that. I just want to go back and watch the Brawl for All. Like, give me that in a condensed.
Dude, if
clip.
WWE is smart, they would release the Brawl for All in the fucking vault on YouTube.
I would watch it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
From in its entirety, from the first round to the end.
The whole thing, it would be like a 32-minute fucking thing.
32 of the best minutes of my life. Can't get it back.
Just Butterbean fucking.
Maybe we should stop this. Bow! Let me stop it for you.
Just pop.
Oh, Joe, your final match?
I did not pick Butterbean.
You picked Lawrence
Although
Taylor.
I respect it. No, my final match. So, I know we didn't have to have a women's title match on the show, but I did fit in a women's title match.
China versus Ivory.
God knows, it's one of the worst matches of all time.
That's why I thought you put it on there.
No, I wanted a respectable women's title match, which is hard to find in this set of WrestleManias. Which is why I ended up with Jazz versus Trish versus Lita from Mania 18.
Yeah, it was a great 6-minute buffer to get you from Rock Austin to the Who Gives a Shit main event that wasn't Rock versus Hogan.
I agree, but like, if you're talking about women's wrestling, evolution of women's wrestling, that's a plug for that show. You can't not talk about Lita and Trish and Jazz and the fact that they actually were all involved in a title match at Mania. It feels at least significant in some capacity, even if it's a hindsight.
I commend you for getting a women's match on the card because this pocket's difficult. It's going to still be a little bit difficult in the next set of matches too.
I think later in the either super early or super late.
There's not going to be a ton to pick from, but like we'll be able to get one on. That 31 to 40 pocket might be hard because there's a lot of fucking good ones. Like, and that's going to be kind of the challenge.
Ain't lying.
31 through 40. The hard thing is going to be that you're limited to only one title match for the women.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of non-title women's matches that are incredible from that WrestleMania. There might not be a single one, but there's plenty of title matches during that period that fit in.
It's a great point. Real great point. Also, I'm because I usually just have an older Mania right now on the thing, so I have 38 on right now, and like Seth Rollins, the video like leading up to him and who was he gonna face, and like seeing the him in Vince's office, just even a couple of years later is like, wow, life happened real fast in the WWE in the last couple of years, but also it made me think because they're in a new corporate headquarters, and like the old one I think is being repurposed into like housing.
Apartments.
Who's going to end up with the one where Vince McMahon was crapping on people? I know that's probably a question Joe would probably end up asking, but like, who's
beat him to it?
I mean, who's the poor son of a bitch that's apartment in their bedroom is going to be where Vince McMahon's office was?
It definitely has to be like apartment 88008 because it spells poop or boob.
Boob.
It spells boob poop. So has to be right.
Man. All right.
Before we continue on to Dynasty, next week 21 through 30. Do we want to keep the IC title and the US title separated, or do we want to merge them into one mid card slot?
I think that should be one mid card slot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right, so we have the tag titles. Do we want to make a world heavyweight and a WWF title, or do we want to just leave it as one men's world title match?
I'd say leave it as one men's world title, and let's actually put a women's.
I do have a women's in there already.
Okay.
That's why I was asking.
I still think doing one men's world title makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have right now the tag, one world title match, a mid-card title match, a women's title match, and I still have 5 wild cards. Do we want to make it 6 wild cards?
I'm fine with either way.
I mean, yeah, we can make
Let's make it 6.
All right, so let me just
And this is 21 through 30, including
Correct.
30.
Yes, you can use 30, Joe. Jesus.
That's important.
You know what it was when I mentioned it 8 hours ago.
So we got WWE title,
Yep.
IC/US,
Yep.
tag title,
Yep.
women's title,
Yep.
and then 6 wild cards.
Correct.
Do we want to include an ECW world title?
No.
No.
If you're not letting me have a separate for the world heavyweight title and the WWF title, then there's no shot I'm adding fucking.
Fine.
Okay. I need to go back because I may actually like take this topic over to an episode of 3CT, even though we're running out of time.
I mean, it sounds like a great Tuesday episode.
Right. Yeah.
If you have nothing on the docket.
Might just do that the Tuesday of WrestleMania week. We'll still have the sad songs bracket, but we'll.
Ooh, yeah. How'd that go?
We actually extended. Spoiler alert! We actually extended the
64
the bracket to 64. Which
is Careless Whisper on there?
It's not.
Wow, you guys are the worst.
Did
Did you put Bad Day by what's his face?
You know what? You're gonna just have to listen. You're just gonna have.
You're
to
the
listen.
worst. I listen every Tuesday.
Well, it'll be there Tuesday at midnight.
Yeah, I had a bad day.
The most heartbreaking song for anyone of our age is the song that Jesse and Slater was singing while Zach and Kelly were breaking up outside the prom because Kelly was going to date that guy that was too old to be dating a high school student.
Jeff.
And they were singing How Am I Supposed to Live Without You by Michael Bolton.
That's right.
That's the saddest song of all time because of that scene.
All right.
I feel like there's a Selena song in there that's probably just as sad.
But that's only because she's dead. You know, they denied that bitch bail.
Good.
Parole. She's dead.
Parole.
Yeah, definitely parole. Definitely not bail.
Parole.
Parole's the word you're looking for.
I'm going to parole her with some chocolates.
All right.
Let me add him.
Jim, for the love of God, get the Dynasty before I.
All right. AEW Dynasty this Sunday.
Be there.
Wait, they do fucking Sundays. Good sons of bitches.
Wait, hold on. We moved y'all in to 2:00 on a Saturday. You don't expect them to do Sundays beforehand?
Unreal. Sunday, April 6th from the Leah Chorus Licorice Center from
licorice.
Philadelphia in the not so beautiful Temple University campus. 9 matches on the card. We will start with the Women's Owen Hart Cup Tournament first round match. Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart. Joe.
I don't think Mercedes is gonna lose on pay-per-view, so
Yeah, probably not. Joe. All right, Mike.
I don't think Mercedes is losing probably ever in AEW.
Sure didn't seem like it. Yeah, it's Mercedes easily. Men's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round match. Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight, which I know sounds like a made up name, but Kevin Knight is a wrestler in AEW, at least this Sunday. Joe.
Plot twist, Mercedes Moné. Now give me Will Ospreay.
All right, Mike.
Need to crack me a nice can of that Cran Ocean spray.
Yeah, easily. Tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team title. Sorry, I'm watching the Cody return. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus the Learning Tree, Big Bill and Brian Keith. Joe.
Oh God. I hope the Hurt Syndicate.
Michael.
What if MJF goes back and helps his old friend Chris Jericho get tag belts in the Learning Tree and turns on the Hurt Syndicate because of the whole stuff that happened on Wednesday night?
I mean, I guess it's possible, but good God.
And then we get a Bobby Lashley MJF feud that none of us fucking asked for. None of us asked for that.
Yeah, nobody. Not a single one.
I'll take the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, it's the Hurt Syndicate. God, this fucking Cody return at WrestleMania 38.
So good.
It's so goddamn good.
So good. So glad I was there for that.
I'm already thinking ahead to 2 weeks from now. And how the fuck I'm going to have to decide between this and the main event last year.
I mean, you're going to have to see how this match plays out because if Cena breaks the record, I mean, I think that definitely plays a role in.
No, but I mean to do our like build a card thing in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
For 31 through 40, like because this return, fuck man.
True. Oh, God, I didn't even think about that. Good call.
Right? Versus the main event from last year, the main event of my first WrestleMania.
I mean, let's there's going to be someone that might actually take the Bloodline Rules match from night one.
Right? Dude, it's going to be so fucking hard.
What?
These last 10 Manias fucking slap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, WrestleMania 31 through 40. I still have to somehow tell myself to not pick the heist of the century.
Jesus.
That has Roman Reigns in it.
Oh, God, I hate this already. Oh my God, that's gonna be the hardest 10 to do.
I might throw my laptop.
Does that match include Rollins?
Yes.
Yeah, because he cashes in the
Damn.
heist.
Okay.
Yeah, that turned into a triple threat match. So if you use the heist of the century,
That's your Seth Rollins.
You lose WrestleMania 40. You lose Cody's return. All of it.
You would lose 30. I mean, not that would actually be your title match, but like
the match against Brock,
the 35 against Brock, the fucking 2 minute.
How am I supposed to tell myself that I'm going to pick between 31, 40, or Kofi Mania?
I was gonna say there's an argument for Brian Cody in there.
Hell.
We might have to change some shit before.
Yeah, we're gonna have to think about this. We're gonna have to think about this one.
I'm really glad we have 2 weeks before we get there.
We'll have a WWE title, a WWF title, Universal title,
42 match card,
an undisputed title.
Only title matches.
All right, singles match for the AEW TNT title. No time limit. No outside interference permitted. Daniel Garcia defending against Adam Cole, baby. Joe.
Does it fucking matter? Adam Cole, I guess.
Mike.
Sure, it matters. It's Adam Cole, baby. He broke up with Britt Baker, baby.
Yeah, I was fully planning on picking up Adam Cole till you sniped him from me, you motherfucker. Oh God, speaking of matches nobody gives a fuck about, a title versus mask match for the Ring of Honor world title. Chris Jericho defending against Bandito. Joe.
I'm gonna take Bandito.
Mike.
Can they both lose? Does somebody have a random contract that they can cash in like Christian did?
God, I fucking wish. But probably not.
All right, I'll take fucking Bandito.
All right. Yeah, Bandito as well. Get that title away from Chris Jericho. A trios match for the AEW trios title. The Death Riders, Claudio Pack and Wheeler Yuter, taking on Rated FTR, Cope, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. Joe.
I guess I better pick Cope and FTR to like talking into existence.
There you go. Michael?
Yeah, if you haven't watched AEW, looking at you, Lopez, there is dissension in the ranks of FTR. Not rated FTR, but FTR. Now, every time we have those fun little deceptions in rivalries inside the tag group, it always ends with the third wheel getting planted on their face with whatever the tag team's finishing maneuver is. Cope eats a shatter machine, and we break up rated FTR, and FTR goes back to being a heel and going after the tag titles, which they should have never have stopped going after. As much as Tony Khan has fumbled other pieces, I really feel like he's fumbled FTR harder than anyone else in the last 2 years, because they were at the peak of tag team wrestling with the Bucks, and then it was just like, and it's gone. That being said, the other thing here that I could see happening, and spoiler alert here, what if it's not a rated FTR breakup that causes a loss, but a return that causes a loss that leads to a trios match where maybe it's the losing team can no longer be a tag team of rated FTR versus the Young Bucks and Jungle Boy.
Oh.
What if we get the return of Matt and Nick Jackson at this show that super kick FTR? You reignite that and the Y'all In match, because I don't think the Young Bucks are going to be involved in a tag match for the tag titles. I don't think Adam Copeland's going to be involved in a title match of any sort. So a 6-man tag between rated FTR and the Bucks and Jungle Man, and the losing team can no longer be a trios for Y'all In.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
I'm just saying, at some point the Bucks are going to have to come back, and if I'm forced to watch heel Young Bucks with their stupid EVP dumb shit, which I kind of hope that they don't do, but you're going to bring it back because it was what they were over as. The same thing as you're not killing Timeless Toni Storm because she lost to Mariah May. If you're going to bring the Bucks back, I would rather them go right into something with a good team for them to feud with, and I think FTR makes the most sense.
Fair enough. And then next one.
Are you're taking Death Rider since you picked all of them up, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool.
Yeah, this is rated FTR breaking up written all over it.
If it's not, like I said, if it's not breaking up, someone's got to cost him, and then they break up in whatever the next feud is.
Yeah. 3-way match for the AEW International title. Kenny Omega defending against Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. Joe.
Yeah, no, that's as much as Tony Khan might try to literally inhale Speedball Mike Bailey, it's going to be Kenny Omega that wins this match.
Michael.
See, I've gone back and forth on this. What's the easiest way and safest way to get a title that you don't give a fuck about off of Kenny Omega? A triple threat.
Okay.
I'm going to be so pained to say this out loud.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually a world where I could actually believe that fuck could walk out with the title. I'm not going to pick him because he just got married to Samantha Irving. Congratulations. I'm not that big of an asshole. But he's probably going to go away on his honeymoon. If that's the case, he can't win the title. I don't think they're going to give it to Speedball right away. I think Speedball's in this match to eat the fall either way.
Yeah.
Give me Twinkle Toes McFingerbang, just because I don't think I can bring myself to picking Ricochet.
Yeah, I had picked up Ricochet in the fantasy lineup because I think there's a realistic chance that he's going to win. I'm picking Kenny Omega, but it would not surprise me if Ricochet got the win. Also, by the way, man, just looking at it's wild. We don't really think of Cody Rhodes as being an out of shape dude, but sometime in the next 24 hours, pull up look at Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 38 versus Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble.
Bloated.
He looked loose.
Bloated.
At 38. You can tell he had taken time away from actively wrestling, because man, he definitely, and he's not really tan.
Yep.
It looks like he that deal came together quick, it seems like. And then we're off to the races. All right, 2 more here. Singles match for the AEW Women's World Title. Timeless Toni Storm defending against Megan Bayne.
I think Tony's winning this one.
Michael.
I don't know. That's one big bitch.
Big bitch.
My God, you're a big bitch.
It's such a good soundbite.
The bigger they are, the harder they come.
It's just so good.
My God, you're a big bitch.
Did you see the promo that they cut when it was her and Thunder Rosa versus Penelope and it's
Thunder
supposed to be Thunder Tits.
Tony Storm. Look, we can talk a whole episode. We've almost done it sometimes.
Yeah.
About all the things AEW does wrong. But my God, Tony Storm is pro wrestling to a T, and I love every second of it.
If there's one thing they hit on,
it is
timeless Tony Storm.
For sure.
I will take Tony to retain. I think my bigger question here is what's next? And I have a guess.
Okay.
And I think it's a title unification match between her and Mercedes when Mercedes wins the Owen Hart Cup and we go back to having only one women's title in AEW.
I wouldn't hate it. Certainly would not hate it. Yeah, timeless Tony Storm. Absolutely, easily, without question. One of the easier results on this whole card. And then closing it out, singles match, AEW World Title, Jon Moxley defending against Swerve Strickland. Joe.
I don't believe that Moxley's losing the belt yet, unfortunately. So,
Michael?
If there's one thing I learned in the last 48 hours, I've never been more intrigued into what's going to happen next than I am with Swerve Strickland. The backstage pull apart that he almost had with Adam Hangman Page last night, where in the course of them yelling at each other, Page looked at him and said, "You deserved it." And Swerve stopped right in his tracks and you go, "Yeah, I did." And Hangman couldn't respond. And I don't know where that's going next. I'm intrigued by it. I'm excited about it. Dynasty is where Swerve won his AEW title last year. I don't know that. I mean, watching him get Ricola bombed onto glass and just standing up from it after the Death Riders left the ring and staring a hole through Jon Moxley, I don't know how there's a way that he doesn't walk out of Philadelphia with the title. And then I remember Tony Khan's booking, and there's no shot at Swerve Strickland's walking out of Philadelphia with the world title. Give me Jon Moxley and the fucking Death Riders, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, look, I want Swerve to win. I want this Death Rider stuff to end. But unfortunately, I just don't see it happening. So, begrudgingly, Jon Moxley.
Who does he lose it to at All In? It's whoever wins the Owen Hart Cup, right?
Yeah.
So it's Ospreay.
Yeah.
Ospreay probably wins the title at All In.
Yeah, let me...
It's going to be Darby Allin.
So it's Ospreay, Kevin Knight, Brody King, Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, Hangman Page versus to be announced. Who do we think that to be announced?
Darby Allin, who's going to win the world title.
No shot.
Kill me now.
No shot. You had your shot with Darby. You pissed that away.
Yep, sure did.
The to be announced, in all honesty, it's probably going to be Swerve.
That's fair.
Swerve loses to Ospreay in the finals.
It's not going to be Hanger. It's not going to be Fletcher. It's not going to be Briscoe. Not going to be Brody King. Not going to be Kevin Knight.
Takeshita versus Ospreay in the semis. The winner basically gets
the winner of that match wins the tournament.
And I don't think you're going to get a heel versus heel. So it's I don't think we're going to Takeshita.
Yeah.
I think Ospreay versus Takeshita in Ospreay's first feud for the world after he wins the world title will be fucking fantastic.
Yeah. There it is.
Fucking
Well,
Dynasty.
that's Dynasty. Dynasty.
Dynasty. All right, wrestlers of the week.
Sorry, my dog's yelling at me. That is literally him. He wants to go outside.
He's really
I can't
yelling.
think of any wrestlers. Who won the main event on Raw?
It was
on Raw was the no
EO won by
contest.
DQ.
No, it was a double disqualification.
Ah, fuck me. My go-to.
Get wrecked, nerd.
That's fucking hilarious.
I tell you what, you guys pick yours and then text me what you picked, and then I'll add my 2 cents.
Okay.
Because I should really go walk my dog because he's like really annoyed at me.
Go handle the dog.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Bye, Joe.
Bye,
Kick him out.
I
mean,
can I take the easiest one?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't, I am.
Ricky Starks. Easily, without question. Give me Ricky Starks, baby.
Ricky Skaggs. New North American champion. All right, so that's that. I will take. You know what? I'm not even gonna take that because that's stupid. I was thinking about taking the Cope because he beat Claudio Casmaioli, but it's not gonna happen. Because fuck him, that's why. Let's go back to Friday Night SmackDown. Anything good happen on SmackDown? LA Knight versus Braun Strowman went into no contest. You know what? I'm gonna take the Street Profits. They retained the tag titles against the Yes Boys, so I'll take the Street Profits.
Good call. And then certainly not picking Braun Strowman winning by a DQ or something.
I think it ended as a no contest.
Yeah. Oh man, give me fucking Big Gunther for.
I was gonna say if you didn't, I was taking him for beating the piss out of
shit whipping Jimmy Uso and man, just turning that feud up to fucking 11. That went from a feud where people were like, "Boy, I am sick of this shit," to this. If it wasn't for it already being set in stone, this could main event.
That happens last Monday. I don't think you get the announcement that Punk, Rollins, and Roman is the main event.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because I still feel like this just had Phil from Chicago written all over the main event.
I don't deny that, but I don't think you get the formal announcement.
Okay, that's fair.
I think you keep everybody on their toes.
Keep everybody guessing because it literally could have been
correct
a couple of matches. I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
I think you more just go, okay, it could be Jay versus Gunther. It could be, we'll find out on Saturday whenever fucking everybody shows up.
Yep, that's a good point.
I think that's probably the route I would have thought. I am going to go to NXT, I believe. I will go to NXT. You took the easy one. I'm going to take Zarya for advancing into the qualifier match, beating Lash Legend. I like that. We're going to get the car crash women's North American match.
I like it.
Put my little note down so that whenever Joe votes, he can not yell at me for not knowing why people are nominated. So, all right, that's Wrestlers of the Week. For the year so far, just to catch you guys up, we are through 3 months. There are 3 wrestlers that have cracked the 40-point mark. Only one of them has been in the rankings all 3 months so far, and that is the current women's IC champion, Lyra Valkyria. She's gotten points in all 3 months. She's currently leading the way with 46. In second place is Obafemi. Third place is Tony Storm. Fourth place is the now former double champ but current NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vacour, and then a tie for fifth place between the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, and Hiroki Goto.
Very good. Very good.
Jim, plug away.
Yeah, hit us up 3 Count Thursday at 3 Count Thursday across the board. Go to my link tree in my Twitter Blue Sky. That'll get you to all of my projects. Huddle Up, we're tentatively planning on an episode sometime in April, draft week. Looking at some of the crazy off-season moves that we've gotten through so far, and a little bit of a draft preview because a lot of things have changed since the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
We spent a lot of money.
You guys sure did. The Cowboys did things. Joe Milton, championship.
I can't wait to see Ashton Genty play for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, he ain't even gonna get there. He's gonna be a Raider.
Oh yeah, he probably is. You're right.
He's gonna be a Raider, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, I need the New York Giants to draft Shadur Sanders because
So he
if they
doesn't end up
don't,
as a Dallas
he's
Cowboy.
A Cowboy. He's
Yeah.
a Cowboy.
Unless somebody trades up.
Unless somebody trades up. Which, if you're trading up to Shadur Sanders, you're a fucking idiot. But
Unless you're the Pittsburgh Steelers.
that's a good point. But anyway, at Big Jim Sports on Twitter and Blue Sky. I don't post much on social anymore, but just hit my link tree there and that'll take you to my project.
You can follow me at They Call Me Bird. You can follow the show at Take the Number 3 Wrestling. Listen to the Joe Movie podcast, all one word, Joe Movie, because they don't know what space is. You can listen to me talk South Florida baseball, Sunny Days and Double Plays, the Palm Beach Baseball podcast. Going to get our first 2-week episode in probably tomorrow. If not, it'll go up Saturday morning. It's kind of be my thing is I'm going to do every 2 weeks this season because there's just a lot going on. Other than that, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Join us next week. We'll talk WrestleManias 21 through 30. We will preview more of what's going to happen from Viva Las Vegas and WrestleMania 41. Until then, for Joe and Jim, I am Mike. We will see you guys next week right here on the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast.